Okay, so when you purchase the 2020 Day Trader and Swing Trader logbook, once you've downloaded it, you'll put it in your folder, and then you'll go ahead and open that. Open it up. You're going to come to a page where it's going to have a disclaimer that you'll have to agree to in order to use the logbook. So read that over, basically saying you're holding harmless anybody involved with 2020 Day Trader, etc. So agree and lets you in. Do not agree, won't let you in. Okay. So once you're in, some information here. You have this link over here that'll go to instructional videos on the program. I highly recommend you can click this link. It's all on YouTube. Go straight there, and then subscribe to the channel. And any updates for this logbook or anything that might come up with the logbook will be updated there. And if you subscribe and hit the bell icon, then you'll automatically be notified. So let's say 6 months down the road we find a little bug or something like that we need to fix, you'll be notified of it through that YouTube channel. So go there and subscribe, hit the bell icon. But yeah, so that's your home page that you'll come to. Then the next tab over. So all these tabs have all the different pieces. This arrow here will allow you to move across the tabs. Then go to your calculator, the bottom tab here. Once you're in, enter your buying power, 25,000. Max risk, whatever you're willing to lose per trade, 100. And then example, let's say we're going to buy, I don't know, X, Y, Z example. All right, so let's say that's the crazy stock that we're going to buy, and the price of that stock is 120 bucks. All right, so with $25,000 buying power, $120 stock, I can afford to buy 208 shares. Now this does not take into account commissions, so maybe it's not quite that much. The way I use this is if this stock was 120, because it's going to be bouncing up and down, I would actually put in 121. Whatever, just outside what I think the bounce is going to be. Because the worst thing you can do is enter, your share size, and then you go to buy and you don't have enough buying power because the stock moved. So I always go above that just to make sure I have enough buying power. All right, so now let's say I'm going to enter that trade, and my risk is going to be 75 cents. If I'm wrong, I'm going to lose the most. I'll lose is 75 cents. So I don't want to buy more than 133 shares. If the most I can lose is 75 cents, if I buy less than 133 shares, I know I won't lose $100, or I'll lose only $100 plus commissions. Okay, so that's how that works. And then if you want to mark what your plan is for this stock, long, short, whatever, just as a reminder, you can throw that in there. And then this box over here, max share group. So let's say I know I'm going to buy another one, X, Y, Z, Z example. Okay, and this stock is 50 bucks. All right, most I can buy is 500 shares. My risk, let's say it's $1.25. So I shouldn't buy more than 80 shares of this stock. But if I want to buy both of these stocks, I need to make sure that I don't buy more than 146 shares of each one, so I still have money in the bank. So now let's say I'm going to do X, Y, Z example XY. Okay, so this stock is let's say it's 200. All right, so 125 shares the most I can buy, and let's say 10 cents is my risk. So I can buy 1,000 shares and be under my risk, but I can't afford 1,000 shares because it's 125. I can only afford 125 shares. So I can actually buy a lot more. But if I want to be able to buy all three of these at the same time, then I can't really afford more than 67 shares of each one. So if I did 67 shares of each one of these, then I can buy all of them. And then of course you can move that number around. If you want to buy more of this one, less of that one, whatever. But if you just wanted a quick round number of, how many shares can I afford if I were to buy all three of these, you can only afford 67 across the board. Or you'd have to go up and down, buy 100 of this one, buy 20 of that one, and whatever. But kind of just gives you an idea of what you got available if you're buying a group. But there you go. So that's your calculator. So the biggest thing that I use mostly is this. For $121 stock with my buying power, I can afford 206 shares. My risk is 75 cents if I'm wrong, so I don't want to buy more than 133 shares. Boom, I'm in. So this is a real fast way for me to calculate. There's instructions here. Give you a reminder. Same thing here. Move over to the log. Okay. So on the log, you have your starting account balance, whatever that is for you, and then it'll tell you what your year-to-date P&L is as far as cash goes, like dollars that you're making, and then also price per share. So, you know, so far I've made $11 per share for the year, and then year-to-date average, it'll give me your averages. So out of all the trades I've taken, I've averaged $7.72, and I've averaged 0.02 cents price per share. So that's kind of giving your averages, and then your year-to-date commission is right there, or after commission I should say. So once you've got your how much you've made minus commission, that's where you're at. So then you also have your swing trade log that's back here, we'll go to in a second. That's what we're looking at with swing trades so far. Year-to-date commission is part of day trades, and then if any of these are cut off when you get to this page or launch your program, sometimes I do, you just have to move that over. Right, just left click and drag it over. Year to date with swings, so including my swing trades, this is where I'm at, and then my total account value with swing trades included is right there. And so far my year to date average risk on day trades has been $1.40 is what I've risked each or $1.40, not money wise but like movement in the stocks. So yep, and then my account total right now is right there. So with my day trades. Okay, so then come down, we get our monthly overview, so we can get a snapshot of what we've done this month so far. Commissions, price per share, all that stuff through here. Yep, and then our weekly as well. So week 1, week 2, week 3, how much price per share, and also dollar amount that we're making. Alright, so then we go to our log. So now if you, when you're in here, if you don't want this top to move, or you're scrolling way down here but you want this bar to still be here, an easy way to do it is click just under that bar, or get where you want this to be. Alright, click under that bar, then go to View and hit Split. Now when you click in this upper window, it'll just move it. And if you click in the lower window and then scroll, it'll just move it. So, and then when you want to get out of that, just come up and hit split again and you'll be out. So easy way to do that. Okay, so here you are. You got your date automatically populated for you, all the trading days. Gray is market closed. So some of these have holidays or market closed days, so that's why you have more. Scroll all the way down. Grab this. Oop. So on the ones that are green like this, it's because the market closes early on those days. And then blue, this blue is end of month. We got end of week, which is this gray bar, and end of day, which is these orange ones. So you can kind of see your tally: end of week, end of month, end of week, end of days. All right. So to enter a thing, one of your trades, say example. If you're going to go long, let's say I entered this at $4. So let me erase these for now. $4. I'm exiting, say, at $6, and I had 200 shares. So it automatically tells you what your price per share is. I've made $2 on this thing, and because I made $2 per share with 200 shares, I got $400. Then I paid $6 in commissions, so I ended up with $394. I risked on this trade, say $2, because that's going to affect your average risk if you care to track that. And then I like to put in what the max move was. So say the max move was actually $5. So I left $3 on the table. And that's going to tell me later on when I'm looking at all these, like, wow, I'm always leaving money on the table. Maybe I should adjust my strategy. So, and then the trading day of the year, what trading day we're on. And then over here, notes, you can add, you know, I broke the rules, I used this strategy or that strategy or whatever you want to put in here note-wise. That might help you remember if you look back and say, why did I have such a bad day? You can have some notes in here. Well, the day was awesome. Have some notes in here. What was going on? So let's go down, do it again. Say it's example. This time we're going to go short, so we put an S. You have to put an L or an S in this column so that the program knows what kind of math to do over here. So S for short, and then we're going to go ahead and enter our price. Let's say it's $5, and let's say we got out at 4.5, and we had 200 shares. So we made 50 cents per share, and 50 cents per share with 200 shares gives us $100 after commission of $94. All right. Okay, so when you're in your workbook and you want to insert a row, so you filled up all these right here on the third, and you want to add a row. If you right-click right here on the orange one and add a row, it's not going to populate this formula correctly. I'll show you what you can do though to do that if that's what you really want to do. But if you do it just under the already populated date on there, so wherever the date is, just go the one row under. If it's a two row here, just like this, go the one row under. And we'll do that actually in just a second. So actually we'll go there now. So because that's probably what you're going to be looking at most of the time. We'll do both actually. So we're at 50, right click, insert, and you get your row. And then what you'll need to do is you'll need to left click once. So you have the different icons here. You have that kind of cursor, then you have that cursor, and you have this little black one. You want that. Left click and drag, and you'll move the formula down. Left click and drag. Left click and drag, go to the end of your book here, left click and drag, left click and drag. Now all your formulas will be up to date. So if you're going long, you put long or L. If you're going to go short, put just an S. And then over here you go with whatever your entry, you enter stock, say at $5. We got out at $7, $2, losing trade, it's red, commissions if there are any, and so forth, max risk and all that. All right, cool. So everything calculates properly that way. So you have two canceled out, you have one left, right? So if you're looking at this, same thing. So just under the one with the date, right click, insert. And then you're going to drag your formulas down. And then go to the end. Show you one more or a couple more little tricks here. Okay, so let's say you know you're going to trade like 10 trades today. That's what you do. So right click, insert, 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 just keep clicking pretty much the one under the date, insert. So as many trades as you are confident you're going to be trading, then left click and you can just do it in one shot. Take it down. Save you time then instead of doing each one individually. Alright. Okay. There you go. And then you can drag that just so you have all the lines, but there's no formula there. Okay, so that's it. So then when we go over here, put in 5, 6, 200, and then you got your deal going. So that's basically it. If you were to right click, say here, insert, what's going to happen is, see the number here, number 1, so we do 5, 7, long, 200 shares. So nothing changed, because when you left click on it, you can see here that it's only reading the cell 52, not the cell 53. So if I accidentally did that and I wanted to keep it, I would just have to go up there, highlight it, 53, and then do the same thing for this one, 53, so and so forth, just to make sure that it's yeah, that one's already good. Bum bum bum. Commission 9. No. So we're on 54. I-54. Yeah. Yep. Okay, perfect. So you would just have to go in and do that kind of stuff to the cells. So better just to right click right under the where the date is. Right click, insert, and then you have it. And then you go over here and drag your cell to match. And that's it. There you go. All right. Hope that helps. All right. Moving on to the next piece. Okay. So if you dragged, if you inserted a new row and you dragged your formula, and you don't have the graph show up for some reason, which can happen sometimes, you can just left click, highlight all of it, right click, format cell, and your little lines, and here's your outline. Click those two, OK, and then you'll be back in business. Drag, right click, so left click and drag, right click, format cell. Boom. If for some reason you get like a weird like outline that's kind of like flashing, just hit escape. Doesn't usually happen, but it could happen. Same thing here, right click. You may not ever have this happen to you when you're using the program, when you download the one that's for sale, but I just wanted to show you, just in case it does come up sometime in the year, you have it. All right. The other thing too is sometimes you're going to get, you may not, like I said, the one that's for sale, all this will be maybe worked out of it, but just in case. So if this is too small, you'll get that. You'll see that. You just have to come up and open it up. So like if you're, if this is going to be 20,000 or 100,000 or something like that, there's not enough room, or a million or whatever, you just have to open it up, and then it'll work again. All right, so if you get the little error with all the little number symbols, that's what you do for that. Okay, all right, moving on. Okay, so another thing that might happen later on in the workbook, and again, the one you purchase, hopefully all that won't be there, but just in case, if you find yourself with your cells like this, once you've added rows, you can either just highlight the single row and click under Home, Merge, or you can grab a bunch of them and then under Merge, hit the little arrow, go down to Merge Across, and then you'll merge across. So again, you can grab a bunch of them, get the little arrow, merge across, or you can just grab a single one, hit Merge, and you'll go there. Now in your notes, if you want to have those little breaks, then when you highlight the row, just click Merge, and you can unmerge that row. But you don't see anything because I don't have vertical lines colored. So once you click Unmerge, then you have to highlight, right click, format cell. See how there's no vertical line? Then you would have to add that line, hit OK, and then you would have your lines back. Alright, so merge. But I leave it like that so I can write my notes across. Again, highlight, merge. So when you go to add a row, let's add a row. Let's add one right here. Again, you're going to go below the date, one line below the date, right click, left click on insert, and then you have your row. So when you add rows, a lot of times you'll have these lines that will show up. So then you'll just go and highlight them if you don't want them and merge, right? Then you're going to go again to your formula, drag and drop, drag and drop. Just left click and drag, right? Click it, left click, and then drag, left click, drag, left click, drag. And that's it. So very simple to add rows. All right, we'll move on to the next one. And then up here is your snapshot. All right, so if you have any questions about this page or navigating or using this, please go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'll do the best I can to help you out. Or if you want something different here, something customized for your workbook, shoot me an email and see if I can get it done for you. If it's something small, I'll just do it for free. If it's a bigger deal, then I might have to charge you. I'll just give you a quote. Also, as soon as you log into your workbook, go to File, and then save your workbook, so that if something weird happens and you need to start over, then you can go ahead and copy your data into the workbook again. So basically, I'll show you right here, like I put in, this was the one I downloaded, and then I saved this one as my book. I'll work out of my book, and if something weird happens in it, I can always come back to this, open it, save my book too, and then transfer the data from this book to the new one, so I can keep going. So if you mess up a formula or something like that, you'll be able to do that. Okay, so that's the log for day trading. And we're going to skip over this stuff, go right to swing trades and come back to it so that we can. Okay, so the swing trading log, you have your starting account balance, your year-to-date P&L for swing trades, year-to-date commission for your swing trades, total after commissions, and then your price per share that you've earned so far. And then swings plus your day trade is here, what you've made so far this year, and then your total account value with your swing account. Okay, so I'm full up right now, so I can't add another, I got no space, so I go here, click, and then it's going to add a new row. Oldest trades will be on the bottom, newest will be on the top. So the way I do it is I put in the date, so let's say it's 3/19/2020. I'm going to enter XYZ, and I'm going to enter it long. If it's short, you put an S. And let's say I'm going to get in at, I don't know, $4. And then I'm going to buy 500 shares. And my commissions on it, when I'm in and out altogether, maybe it's 12 bucks, let's say. My max risk is, say, $3 or $6. We'll say 6 bucks. All right, so now my tally is a little bit wonky because this is in here. So if you want your numbers to stay accurate until this trade executes, you can go ahead and you put $4, so you entered at 4, exit at 4, and don't add the commissions, delete the commissions. So now your numbers will stay proper. And then once you have fully executed the trade, you've finished it, put a dash. Let's say that happened on 4/19/2020. Okay. Then we'll come over, and now we'll go ahead and put our exit in. So let's say it was 6. And then you made $2 per share at 500 shares. You made 1,000 bucks. And then your commission was $12, and you're good to go. And then you can do max move if you want to track that. Trading day if you want to add what trading day of the year it was that you started, and so forth. And then notes over here. And then down here is your average risk that you're taking per trade throughout the year. And then your tally for P&L, dollars, commission, so forth. So that's it. That's the swing trading log. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's go with a strategy tracker. You have all three of these are the same, so that if you have a bunch of different ones you want to do. So on your strategy tracker, basically this is how I use this. I built it for this purpose. I come over here and put my date in. So let's say it's 2/2/2020. So with this day, I've gone and on XYZ, say I traded it 3 times and I had 2 winners and a loser. I'll put 2 and then loser -1. Alright, so right now you can see that shows that I had 2 wins and 1 loser. The P&L that I got to keep was a 1. So like usually I do everything risk reward. So most of my stuff is 1-to-1 reward versus risk. So I had 2 losers, 2 winners, 1 loser. So I got to keep 1 winner, and I have 67% accuracy on the day so far with this strategy. Strategy 1's all the blue. Strategy 2 is all the red, and strategy 3 is all the green. So if I have 3 different strategies I'm trading that day, I can track what each individual one is doing. So yeah, so there you go. So let's say, and I can add other trades like other tickers, but let's say strategy 2, we have a trade. Let's do it here, and we had, say we traded XYZ 5 times, and we had 4 winners and 1 loser, -1. Alright, so now over in our log on the same day, 2020, now you can see that we took 6 trades, 2 of them losers, 4 of them we got to keep as winners, and that gave us 75% accuracy. But the biggest thing is over here now in the strategy, I can see what's happening here. So I got 1 winner and I got 3 winners on these. So where you have losers, it'll be negative, right? Like if it was a losing day in that strategy, you'll have a negative number of what your loss is. So at the end of the year, or not even at the end of the year, just while you're trading, you can do a quick snapshot on your strategies. This one's given me 6 winners. This one's been a wash. This one's only given me 2 winners. Man, strategy 1 is really doing awesome for me. Should I even be trading with strategy 2? It's kind of helps you track what's happening with your strategies. So, and then at the same time, with individual tickers, like if you're trading the same stock every day, then you can look and see, this stock's pretty good. I'm, 8-2 on that stock, whereas some of the other ones, with this strategy and so forth. So you can maybe, like I trade pretty much the same stocks every day. So I do this so that I can see if a stock's just not cutting it anymore. If I'm not still maintaining 80 to 90% success with that stock, I'm going to cut it loose. Like, if I'm seeing this at 50% success, I'm not going to trade that stock anymore. At least not for now. I might keep tracking it, see if the conditions change, but that kind of gives me a snapshot. So you cannot add any more rows to this. So it is what it is, and then you have your other days here. So I built like this whole program I built for myself, and then decided to sell it, and I never need more than this because I've got all the data that I need, and then I can reset and start over again just to keep tracking that data. So, and then if I really needed more, I can add it to these other 3 tabs. Okay, so when I'm developing a new strategy, I try not to spend too much time getting bogged down on, I bought the stock for $3, back testing. I bought the stock for $3, I sold it for $3.25, put all the numbers in and all that. I try not to get bogged down on that. So what I do is I take one of these boxes, I put the dates in it. So one way you can do that is, let's say we go with 1/02/2020. Okay. And then if I want to just drag it, I can drag it all the way down, keep it simple. And let's say 9 and 10 was a weekend. I can just ignore those days on 9 and 10. When I get there, I'll just skip over it, and then it'll be white. But I'll put my ticker in here. So like here I put XYZ. And then I would just, when I'm back testing it, I had a win, I had a win, I had a win. Each trade, I had a win, I had a loss, I had a win, all the way down. And then when I get to the bottom, I would do this whole thing when I back test it. And then I would look at these numbers and see what my percentage is of success. So 17-2, and then I can kind of see if that's an acceptable number for me to want to trade this stock with that strategy. If I'm trading by the stock. This could just be a condition, not even a stock. So I might not have ticker XYZ here. I might just put gapper, because the condition is what I'm testing. or maybe it's the individual stock. So with every stock that's gapping, this is gapper strategy per se. Say every stock gapping over 5%, blah, blah, blah. When those conditions are met, I'm buying. So win, 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 loss. And then it'll tell me, yeah, it's, you know, get down here in 17 and 2. That's a pretty good strategy. I'm gonna stick with that one. Let me do a more detailed test. And then I'll jump over to here and do a more detailed test going forward for like the next 30 days in live market and see how effective it really is. So it's kind of how I build my strategies. I have my idea, whether I'm trading condition or a particular name. I do this to see if it's even viable, and if it is viable on a back test, then I'll do a sim trade so I can see in real world market conditions how well it's actually holding up. So I'll do that here, and if that's good, then I'll go ahead and jump in and start trading with live money, and I'll start small and I'll scale up, and I'll keep on adding my numbers into this so I can keep an eye on what's happening. And then if anything's changing, I'll quickly be able to identify it here. So scaling up. So the way I do my scaling is with strategy 1, you know, it looks pretty good, so I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to start by risk reward of 10 bucks. This is just, you know, it could be anything. You can put whatever number you want in here for your own scaling. However you want to do it, you can do it. But for me, I start with like 10 bucks, especially now with no commissions. So, you know, if I'm let's do this real quick. Boom. No fill. So if I'm green, you know, I have a winning day, then I'll go ahead and mark it green. Next winning day, mark it green, or winning trade even green. However your risk reward and, you know, risk management strategy is. So, and I'll just keep doing that until I get to where I'm comfortable, which is this many trades, moving up to the next level, 20. So why do I choose it like this? Because I know this many trades is not going to blow up my count. So like if my strategy says I'm going to have a certain win risk, you know, whatever, and I have say 2,000 bucks in my account, at 20 bucks, that's a lot of trades, or 10 bucks, that's a lot of trades I can make before my account blows up. But let's say I had 100 bucks in my account and I'm risking $10 a trade, then, you know, 10 trades and my account's blown up. But really it's less than that because my buying power is diminished to where I won't even be able to take that kind of size. So you got to kind of figure out, you know, for you what those numbers are. I put my numbers in here, and then I know when I get to 20, this here I can scale up and my account will do well even if I have a bad week. And you can just click and drag as well if you want to make it, you know, you have 3 trades, 4 trades, go faster, or you can do it individually. And then if I have a bunch of losing trades, left click up there, I'll go no fill. And if I lose all the way and I end up back in the $10 zone, as soon as I click back into the $10 zone, I'm going to start trading back to $10. So now I'm scaling down. So longevity is key for me in the market. So especially when you're testing strategies, because it might work great for this week, this month, it's earnings week, you know, just happen to get in and now it's not working, you know, whatever, who knows what's going on. So scaling up and scaling down helps me survive in the market until I get a groove going, and then that groove can start paying the bills. So I use a scaling chart to help me with that. But you can use it however you want, put in whatever you want to do. You have 3 of them you can play with, or don't use them at all, whatever. I'm just telling you how I do it, and maybe it will help you out. Okay, so trading rules, I find this page to be so important. I put in whatever my rules are for trading, just as a reminder to me. So trade what I see, not what I think. You know, take what the market gives me. Don't ask for more. Like, you know, you're always going to leave something on the table, or you're going to give something back. Like all these different things that might help you with your trading. That might make you feel, you know, it's a reminder. And then I'll go and I'll put up my strategy rules. So, you know, when the stock hits the VWAP, this is what I'm going to do. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever all the rules are here, crossing moving averages and so forth. So I'll put those here, and then I'll do a picture of a chart all marked up with what that strategy looks like. This is where I'm buying, this is where I'm selling, all that. So if I don't trade this strategy, or let's say I did it in October and then next year in May, I'm not doing so good, I know I changed a few things, But man, last October I had a great month. What did I do back then? I might go back to that strategy that I haven't been using because I've adjusted it. You know, strategy 1.1, 1.2, so forth. So I put them all here so that I have a log of my strategies. So I can always go back and look at them and see what I tried before and where I'm at and all that. So pretty good page. And that's it. So that is your logbook. And your calculator again. So quick reminder, you can navigate your tabs down here. Some areas won't allow you to click in them or do anything. You'll get that because they're locked. The log, because you need to be able to do some stuff here. A lot of this is not locked, so you got to be careful. You could mess up the formulas and stuff like that. If, let's say I did mess up a formula, let's go with this one. Let's say I accidentally deleted that formula. So now what do? You click on this, go to the little black bar, and you just drag it right back into place. No big deal. You can also use the back button sometimes. That'll help you out. Worst case scenario, you open up your workbook that you didn't touch, the original, save it as something new, copy your data, and send it over there, which I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Alright, so I'm going to show you an example of if you crash your workbook and you want to save your or try to like redo your information. So if it gets messed up, it's because the formulas and stuff like that got all wonky, right? So you'll open your original workbook, you'll save as, take two, or whatever you want to call it. Then you'll open up you'll have your open crash workbook, so you have both of them open. So let's say this is my new one. That's good because I just opened it. Didn't mess with it yet. Have my crashed one say right here. But I need to save this information over to my new one so I don't have to type in everything over again, right? So I'm going to click on my first trade. Notice this cell number, 42B, right? 42B. Okay, so I'm going to copy my information here. So I'll highlight that, right? And I'm going to right click, copy. See that little line that goes around it? Lets me know it's in the copy mode. I'm going to show you how to get rid of that in a minute. And then I'm going to take my new workbook, 42B. Just going to click in that cell, and then I'm going to right click and paste. Boom, information's in, updates automatically. We're good to go. So now I have my new workbook and it's got the new information I needed. Carrying on, come back to this workbook. Whenever you copy something in Excel, it has this line. In order to get rid of it, you have to click on your workbook so that it knows you're looking at it. And then hit the escape button, and then you're back in action. And then I would go ahead and put this in an old folder, an archive or whatever. I wouldn't delete it, but I would put it in an old, put it in a folder, mark it old or whatever. But yes, that's how you can kind of save your information to a new workbook if all the formulas for some reason got messed up. Anything can happen. So that's your emergency eject. But if you have issues and it doesn't work, there are other videos on YouTube strictly on Excel that can help you out. Or you can shoot me an email and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Okay, so if you have a cell that doesn't have enough room for what you're doing, if you get these pound signs, it's because the data is too big to fit in that cell right now. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to go up to Review. A lot of these pages are protected, right? So they'll say unprotect like this, and they're just so that you can't accidentally move stuff around and then have to figure out how to fix it. So you go to unprotect, and then go over to these little, see how you get the arrow change like that, and left click and just drag it until it opens up enough to get what you want. And then make sure you go back to protect and then just hit OK. And then so also if you have, like, you're wanting to put a ticker in here, let's see if Roku will fit. Yeah, Roku just barely fits. But if you needed more room in there, same thing, you would just go unprotect and then drag it over and you'll have more room. So you can do that with any one of these, and just make sure you go back to protect again and hit OK. And then there you go. So basically, and as you move like your this around on your computer screen, shrink it, enlarge it, all that stuff, sometimes these cells get a little bit wonky, and you'll have to come up and just reopen them back up to fit whatever it is you need to fit. So just remember, it's review, unprotect, do your thing, reprotect it. All right, so there you go. And then real quick, yeah. So yeah, and on these, if you're ever inserting pictures on Excel, it's different for different ones. You don't have the option right now because the cell is protected. So you'll have to go to review, unprotect, insert, and then pictures, or it'll have some other label for you to choose, and then you'll be able to click it. But basically, we look for pictures, and then whatever you do when you're done, if this workbook was already protected, go back to review and hit protect. So there you go. All right, some of them are not protected, like where are we at? Swings. So swings, it's not protected, so that when you use this formula to add more lines and all that stuff, it won't mess it up. If you're not going to be using this and you feel like protecting, you can just go back, click protect if you want, but it kind of tweaks everything if I click protect, so it's not. So anyway, there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. All right, so again, thanks again for looking at the 2020 Day Trader Swing Trader Logbook. Instruction videos on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be updated with any changes with this. And if you have any questions, please send me an email. You have my email from the purchase. And if you need any custom stuff done or anything like that, just let me know. All right, hope you have an awesome year trading in 2020.